These are the new Odyssey Damascus putters. Very premium, and honestly, they feel very unique off the club face, which we're going to run through loads of new technology that they brought to this very premium putter. It's a hefty price tag, very premium, limited. We're going to run through it in this video. We've got 6 models to choose from, all in very similar shapes that we have seen in the past from Odyssey, but the technology involved, especially in this club face, is definitely a big talking point around these putters. So the 6 models we've got the blaze style options, which is the milled 2, the milled number 1 wide, and then in the mid mallet we've got the Rossi S, and then in the actual mallet the very popular Jailbird Mini, and then the 7DB and the 7CH putters, which makes up the 6 options. Of course, they've got all the different neck sleeves, so really depending on what your arc is in the stroke, you've got either that face balance or those slight toe hang options. So I'm approaching 100,000 subscribers, so I want a little bit of help from you guys if possible. So if you're watching and you're getting some value from my videos and you haven't subscribed, I'd really love it if you just hit that subscribe button. It helps me to help get more equipment to get reviews out to you guys as much as possible. So appreciate your help as always. Let's jump back to the video. So nothing really new there in terms of the options that they are offering, but the real talking point comes to the club face. This Damascus steel milled is really where things get very interesting. So typically speaking, on inserts and putters are very soft. The golf ball is generally quite soft, so that provides a very soft feel. This is a little bit different. This is 2 types of steel that are forged and they are pressed together. 61 layers is exactly how it works. They put them in a box, they press it really hard at really high temperatures, rolls out, they cut it, roll it, and then this is how you get this very, very funky pattern on the club face, which I think looks fantastic. A very cool looking club face. All the club faces are very different. You will not see 2 club faces the same, but that doesn't mean that the feel and the performance is going to be different from face to face. And this has really come from tour. So the players on tour wanted that forged feel, sound to it, but with a firmer contact, maybe a little bit more ball speed, and that's what's going to give you different to what we see in other inserts from Odyssey. And of course, behind that club face, we've still got that AI technology. So all the ripples, the bumps and the lumps behind the club face is really going to help on those miss hits, on off-center hits, going to keep up that ball speed and give you more of a consistent rollout on distance control for those longer putts. We have seen that technology in previous models. They have brought that into this as well, but obviously now with this Damascus face. And then every single head is premium precise milled. So, and that's really the big thing I jumped out at me when I took the head covers off these. These look super premium, more premium than we see in the other models. Just the way it's finished, I really like the color of that very sort of black with that, then that more of that like champagne color in between. So really good contrast of the colors, especially in this sort of Jailbird Mini that I've got in my hands. We've got alignment aids of 3 little dots on the top. So I've got 2 probably the most popular models that we're going to see from Odyssey, the Jailbird Mini and then the 7. Now we're going to have to talk about price, because this is the most expensive putter that Odyssey have ever made. Currently, I'm looking online price is coming in at £499. So as I mentioned, this is the most expensive putter they've ever made, but there is a little bit more technology in here and it does look incredible. Finish is very, very sort of premium. So it is top end, it's into that Scotty Cameron price point. It's probably not going to be for everybody, hence why maybe it's a little bit more of a limited edition to see how maybe the sales go. I'm guessing from Odyssey before might even release a second version and maybe make it non-limited and a bit more readily available. Okay, so let's have a little look how this sort of sits now initially down by the golf ball. So I'm going to start off with the Jailbird Mini. Again, very, very popular shape. Got a lot of differences of those colours throughout the whole of the head there, which really gives some great alignment aid. And then you've got the 3 little sort of dots on that top leading edge just to help with identifying the centre of the club face. This is a face balance option, sits incredibly square. Just sit it down, it just sits in a very nice square sort of position. Now all these putters come with a steel shaft, the SL90, so it's got a 20-gram counterbalance at the top of the grip. And then talking about the grip itself, maybe just slight little bit disappointed in the grip. For a premium putter at £500, the grip is quite sort of basic. Maybe they're just trying to keep it pretty clean, pretty classic on there. It's not an oversized grip, it's just more of a standard size grip. It is from Golf Pride. It's nice, but it's maybe just losing that little bit of that premium that you might just expect on this type of putter at that money. And then moving into the model number 7 in the DB. So again, a very, very popular shape, more of that fang look to it. Again, this is face balance putter, a little bit different on the alignment. Obviously we're losing the colour differences there, but we've got these two striking lines that run parallel, and again the 3 dots in the middle of the club face. Again, sit that down, it sits super square, which I really like. Right, okay, so let's test a little bit of how this feels off this Damascus club face, this milled face. Ooh, just missed that one. That felt straight away. You can tell it's just that slightly firmer feel. It's not clicky, but it's a slightly louder feel than what we're used to. As I mentioned about those soft inserts, sometimes it feels very muted off the club face. Maybe a little bit lack of feedback coming through the face on the strike. So a little bit of that slightly louder sound to it. This is a very unique sound, actually, a very unique feel. That rolls fantastic off the club face. It's quite a straight putt, this, actually. Let's make sure I'm lined up a little bit better. That's a better putt. There we go. That was lovely. Feels good off the face. Hit a few putts from different lengths, long length, mid-range length, and really sort of looking on the consistency. And maybe as I just slightly move my strike pattern on the club face to see how the AI face is working, the feel off this Damascus face as well, and how that produced. And I think the consistency was pretty good. Now, I'm typically not brilliant on longer putts, pace control. Generally leave the putt a little bit short, but it was a little bit, what I felt, a little bit more consistent on that pace control. The feel off the club face is definitely very unique. It feels like soft in a way, but firm, if that makes sense, in a weird way. You know, again, softer feel of the normal insert tends to be very dull and muted. This just has that little click, which gives us a sensation of it being a little bit of a firmer feel, but it's not like rock hard and it fires off that club face off. So I think Odyssey have really nailed the feel off this club face. It's very different to what I've ever putted with before, to be honest. And then just moving into those shorter putts, again, the putter felt very stable indeed. Really, for these two particular models, for me personally, really nice and relatively easy to sort of line up, which is again another little bit of an issue of mine, is actually aiming the putter as good as I can. So the alignment aids definitely sort of helped with these two. Probably just gravitate a little bit more towards that Jailbird Mini with the different colours. Helps, again, just from my alignment. Felt very solid, felt very stable, really nice sort of balance. I think that counterbalance really gives it a nice sensation as you're making the stroke as well, keeping that putter just nicely on path, nice and square with that club face. Miss hits are very forgiving as well. Okay, so my final verdict on the Damascus range from Odyssey. This is premium. So if you're looking for that ultimate high quality finish, this is definitely the range. The putter face I absolutely love. I love the graphics on it, just that little bit of that shimmery sort of wavy look to it. Looks really sort of cool. The performance is great. The feel is superb. Really like the feel off the club face. The price point, I appreciate, is going to be maybe a sticky one for certain golfers not wanting to spend that sort of money around that £500 mark. But if you wanted something premium, this is definitely worth taking a look at. Appreciate you watching the video. As always, hopefully you enjoyed the content. If you have, just hit that subscribe button and hopefully catch you all very soon.